Thanks, son.
You were definitely not supposed to say, all right, we're live after we're live. Oh, my bad, man. You know what I'm saying? My bad. I need one more favor from you. Ready? All right. On the left monitor. Yes. There is a small icon on the right side of the left monitor towards the top that says chat. Click on chat. Click on chat. Okay. That'll help me see if somebody writing. So now when somebody writes something that seems like something I should talk about or address, you got to get my attention and be like, they asked a question, uncle, or something without being too loud. You think you can handle that? Yes. All right, man. I believe you too. Sabbath peace. Sabbath peace. It's another opportunity for us to come together and hear and learn of the word of truth that's given to us by the Most High God. All honor goes to the Father through the Son, whose name is Yahuah. In him lies the only hope for salvation. We know that it is obtained by grace through faith, not of works, lest anyone should boast, and given freely as a gift to all who obey him. We understand that if you do not believe, it is made manifest or made obvious that
if you do not obey him.
If you do not obey him, it is made manifest or made obvious that you do not believe. In this state, you should expect no good thing from the Most High. However, anything that you do get, whether it be a gift of tongues, a gift of prophecy, or any supernatural experience that you may have, it can and it will be used against you in the day of judgment. With that said, peace to the saints that are in the room, to the saints that couldn't make it, to the saints watching on camera, to the saints in the chat, to the saints scattered all around the world. But no peace to the wicked. The only thing we say to them is repent that they might live. Let's go ahead and open up at John chapter 4. My bad. Give me John. Ooh, John chapter 4 might be all right too. Give me John chapter 6 is what I meant. John chapter 6, verse 44. Give me John chapter 6, verse 41. You getting my attention? Somebody said something? Oh, see? That's hate. Just saying that's hate. This is John chapter 6, verse 41.
The Jews then murmured at him because he said, I am the bread which came down from heaven. And they said, is not this Yahushua the son of Joseph, whose father and mother we know? How is it then that he saith, I came down from heaven? Yahushua therefore answered and said unto them, murmur not among yourselves. No man can come to me except the Father which has sent me draw him, and I will raise him up at the last day.
He said, the only way that somebody can come to me is that the Father sent him and he draw. So that means we got to take all pride out of us feeling like we converted somebody. Right? I mean, what it look like? If it's somebody out there and I'm standing on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Sahara, and I got a sign up and I say, come to Yahushua, save your life. Right? And that person saw my sign, nobody else's. And they stopped and they started talking to me and they said, look, brother, I saw the sign. What is this Yahushua that we talking about? And based off of that interaction, they lived the rest of their life righteous to the Most High God. Guess what's still true? Read verse 40, what is that, 42, 43?
No man can come to me except the Father which has sent me draw him, and I will raise him up at the last day.
The Father still drew him. Wasn't me. Right? It wasn't me. Sometimes we get caught up in wanting to convert people. Right? I want my sister to believe. I want my brother to believe, my best friend to believe. I want these people to believe. And so we try to do all these different things to convert them. And it ends up, we don't realize it, but it ends up being not about them. It ends up being about us. So we have to realize we play our part. Even if we think our part is not going to affect our loved one that we want to believe, if we play the part that the Most High God called us to play, which is being obedient, being steady, being focused, that he
Go
will
to the back.
draw everyone and bring them to him.
No, just use the whole thing.
Right?
Use this. Go to the back.
Let's keep going.
It is written in the prophets, and they shall be all taught of God.
Right? And they shall all be taught of Yah. Right? Keep going.
Every man, therefore, that has heard and has learned of the Father comes unto me.
The only way you make it to the Father is if you hear the word and you learn the word. That's it. You have to have a teacher tell you what the word says, and you have to hear it and you have to learn it. You are not going to learn it unless you go to Hebrews chapter 5. This is Hebrews chapter 5. It's important, man. We got to talk. We got to talk through this stuff. There's a way. No human being is important when it comes to the work of the Most High God. Just understand that. Not me, not Brother T, not anybody. No human being is important to the work of the Most High God. The Most High God will switch us out and bring in people off of the bench to run the game. It's that easy. The most that we can do is hear and learn the word so that we can go along for the ride. And to hear the word is easy. I want y'all to sit down. To hear the word is easy. You know what part is difficult? Learning the word. Because it takes something to learn the word. Right? Hebrews chapter 5 going to tell us what it takes. It take a little bit to learn the word. Hebrews chapter 5 verse 12. It take a little bit to learn the word, right? To learn the word, you got to actually do it. A lot of people think that you can just read this book and get an understanding of it. That's not true. To understand this word, you have to actually do it. This is Hebrews chapter 5, verse 12.
But when the time ye ought to be teachers, you have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of God, and are become such as have need of milk and not strong meat.
Mm-hmm.
For everyone that uses milk is unskilled in the word of righteousness, for he's a baby.
Right? If you use milk, you're unskilled in the word of righteousness. Milk is the basics, right? We talked about it last week. It's repenting from dead works and faith towards God, right? It's the doctrine, the teachings of baptism. It's laying on of hands, right? Praying. It's eternal judgment, and it's the resurrection, right? Those 5 topics are topics that are the basics of the book. And most of the stuff that's taught in churches is don't even reach the basics. They don't even get you to adequately teach you the basics. They just talk about grace and forgiveness all day, right? And a bunch of stuff that's not in the Bible at all. A couple weeks, the church is about to be celebrating Christmas. Talking about Jesus is the reason for the season. What did he say? The boy said cap. You know what I'm talking about? It's important that we put our minds toward what the Most High God is saying. Because when you do that, then you can hear the word. And once you hear the word, you have an opportunity to learn the word, but you can't learn the word until Hebrews chapter 5, verse 13.
For everyone that uses milk is unskilled in the word of righteousness, for he is a baby.
Yep.
The strong meat belongs to them that are full age, even those who by reason of use have their senses exercised to discern both good and evil.
Right? So once you put the word into use, once you put it into action, once you start to do the word, then your senses are exercised and you can discern both good and evil. Now you understand the word. When you understand the word, you're able to discern. You're able to put a difference between, okay, no, that's good and that's not good. When you clearly know what's good and what's not good, you're not confused. You're at peace because you already know, I know what I got to do. That's the good thing to do, and that's not the good thing to do. We get confused and at peace when we don't understand the word. We don't understand the word when we don't do the word. Grab James for me. It's James, what is it, chapter 1? James what? James 1:6? All right, let's go with it. We're going to do James 1:6 first, and after that, James 1:12. I kind of think 12 is right. Maybe it's 11. But we're going to see. This is James chapter 1, verse 6. I think verse 6 is a little too high from what I'm looking for, Eli. But we're going to see. We're going to see what it is. I mean, you know a little bit of math, don't you? When you count to 12, you got to get to 6 first, right? All right, well. It's James chapter 1, verse 6. Let's see what the book says.
But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavers is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of Yahuah. A
That's good
double-minded
too.
man is unstable in all his ways.
Mm-hmm.
Let the brother of low degree rejoice in that he is exalted.
Jump on down to verse 11. Let's see what it says.
For the sun is no sooner risen with a burning heat, but
What
it
about 12?
blessed is the man that endures temptation. For when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord has promised to them that love him.
Okay.
Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of God, for God cannot tempt with evil.
Where's what I want in there? Is it? Do we pass
There's
it?
one, oh, you on chapter 2.
Nah, no way. I'm talking about forgetful here.
Oh, okay.
Should be chapter 1, right? Somewhere towards the bottom. What's the last verse?
You want verse, you want 20, 21. We'll do
21.
21.
This is James chapter 1, verse 21. Watch what the book says.
Wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity and naughtiness and receive with meekness the engrafted word which is able to save your souls.
Mm-hmm.
But be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves.
Right? If you only hear the word, what is James telling us?
Deceiving you.
You're going to lie to yourself. So that's why John chapter 6 tells us, verse 45, it tells us anybody who comes to the Father has to first hear and learn the word. If you hear the word only, you're going to lie to yourself. You're going to tell yourself, oh, I learned this Bible front to back, as they be lying and saying. I tell you what, I know God. You know why? Because they be reading their Bible and they hear it. They come to Bible study or they join Bible study. They be watching online. They get on the Bible study call. They go to church 3 times a week. They hear the word. But guess what? They don't do it. So they never understand it. So they hear, but they never come to a point of learning. Right? When you do it, you don't forget. Ooh. When you do it, then you learn it. You understand it. That is the key. Right? Don't let anybody deceive you. If you're struggling reading a book, I have a challenge for you. Do it. Whatever you reading, be like, oh, I think this is what it's saying. So this is what I'm gonna do now. And hopefully you don't start off on no point, you know what I'm saying? Say, go kill all the Canaanites, leave nobody alive. And then you might get yourself in a little bit of trouble there, boy. You know what I'm saying? Give me a Canaanite. I have to do what the book says. Gonna be a real sleek look. This is Leviticus. This is Leviticus chapter 19. Well, let's continue through the commandments. We got a couple good ones coming up. They all good. I shouldn't prefer one above the other. That's what Paul, what did he tell? I think he told Timothy that, Titus maybe. He said not preferring one above the other. Right? This is Leviticus chapter 19. Let's start at verse 17. Last week we finished off at verse 16.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. What does that mean? What does it mean to hate someone in your heart? Let's see. Keep going. Let's see if it can help us figure it out.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him.
So he says, you shouldn't hate your brother in your heart. Instead, you should rebuke your neighbor and not suffer sin because of him. What does that mean?
Not suffer sin upon him.
Don't let him.
Any shit, I'm going in the wrong direction. Correct him.
That means, so this is what this is talking about. When it say, thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart, it's saying on the inside of you, there's hate. The implications would be on the outside of you, what is there? Make it look like love. You ever had somebody that you love do something to you, but you love them so much, you like, nah, I ain't even gonna say nothing. Right? The book is telling us, no, 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 no. When somebody do something to you that you love, you will develop hate for them in your heart. So he's saying, the Most High God is telling you, long term, that hate is going to turn into sin for you. And now you are going to suffer sin because of the person. Who did that? Who can we remember that did that? You think that's always the right answer, huh? No, it's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Look, you was about to say the same thing. Almost. That was pretty close, boy. No. No, but it was Absalom. Is it obvious? That's David's son. Right? You remember Absalom had a brother named Amnon. Oh, yeah, okay. You know what I'm saying? No, he wasn't. But he had a brother named Amnon, right? And Absalom also had a sister. What was his sister's name? Tamar?
I think so.
Was it Tamar?
No, Tamar was Jacob's daughter. I think.
No, Jacob's daughter's name was
No, Dinah. Tamar is David. Yeah, it's Tamar.
So I think his sister name was Tamar. Absalom and Tamar had both the same mother and father. So they, you know what I'm saying, that's what the people call full brother and sister. Then Amnon, they just had the same father. Their daddy was the same, but they had different mamas. So the implication is Absalom is super close to Tamar. Tamar, her father being David, and Amnon, her father being David. Amnon abused his sister, right? And afterwards, Absalom found out about it. But guess what he told his sister? Don't say nothing about it. Keep it on the low. Keep it peace. What was going on in his heart at that point? He hated his brother. But guess what he didn't do? He didn't rebuke his brother. So he holds on to this stuff internally because he got his own idea how he going to figure it out and how he going to handle it. He ends up later trying to kill his brother. Or not trying to, he did kill his brother. He ends up later killing his brother, which led to his dad's army killing him. And that's how things spiral out of control, by holding on to things instead of rebuking your brother. Instead, what we have to do is we have to rebuke our brother. What does rebuke mean?
Correct.
We have to correct our brother. If our brother does something wrong that offends us, grab Matthew chapter 18. Matthew chapter 18, verse 15. That's where we're going right now. We came from Leviticus 19. It's Matthew chapter 18, verse 15. This is Matthew chapter 18, verse 15.
Stuff together. There we go.
What does the book say?
Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee,
So hold on. The first thing you're supposed to do, if your brother do something wrong to you, you go to him one-on-one and you tell the brother, hey, you messed up. This was wrong. And the book say, if he what?
okay. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more, that is, in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, every word may be established.
Right? So he's saying, if he hear you, you've gained your brother. If he doesn't, then you bring witnesses so that they can say, yo, no, I was there. You did do that. Like, that was messed up, bro. You shouldn't have did it. You should apologize to your brother. At any point in this process, if your brother is like, you're right. You know what I'm saying? I did that. That was wrong. Guess what? You've gained your brother. The Most High God is trying to tell you the other route. If you hold on to it, because you don't want that conflict, you don't want that confrontation, you don't want to deal with that. You think you're preserving a relationship. In reality, you are going to have hate for your brother in the long term. These are the things that we get from our law that common wisdom would not teach us. This is in our law telling us, if you got hate in your heart for your brother, you can't do that. Instead, you better correct your brother. Whatever is making you mad, whatever, you might be wrong about what you corrected. Have that conversation. Keep going. Watch this. If your brother don't listen. If I bring 2 people now, it's me and it's 2 other brothers, and we all say you wrong. And he's stubborn. He's looking like, man, I ain't wrong. I don't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? I said what I said. Right? Sometimes you might want to fight. You know what I'm saying? You might want to throw some hands. But that's not the appropriate way to handle it. Book say this is what you're supposed to do.
And if he shall neglect to hear them,
Knock him out?
tell it to the congregation.
No, you're supposed to tell it to the congregation. So now you got to go to the whole congregation. You got to be like, all right, this is the matter. Right? You look, I tried to resolve this privately. I went to Zahar man to man. I said, look, man, look. What you did was wrong. Zahar came back like, nah, that's not how I see it. I see it differently. I said, okay, cool. Eli, Michael, come with me. You know what I'm saying? We got to talk to Zahar. He messed up. You know what I'm saying? Y'all was there. Y'all witnessed it. Now, all 3 of us, we go talk to Zahar. Zahar still like, nah, man, y'all saw something different than what I saw. Go sit down. Y'all saw something different from what I saw. Right? So then I'm like, okay, cool. Everybody in this room, since Zahar is here, I need to talk to him about something. First, I'll talk to him privately. Then I talk to him with Eli and Michael. Now I want to talk to him with all y'all. Here are the facts. Here are the things that happen. And then what happened after that? What happens after that?
But if he will not hear thee, then take thee 2 or more, 1 or 2 more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established. And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the congregation. But if he neglect to hear the congregation, let him be unto thee as a heathen man and a publican.
Now you cut him off. Right? Now you cut him off. Remember, this is a brother that you love that offended you. But the book is telling you, if it can't be resolved, cut it off. Paul tells us the same thing in a different place, right? He said, man, look, man, that brother that had fornication, you know what I'm saying, and had that sin, sleeping with his own father's wife, he's like, man, not even a Gentile. That's crazy. He said, go ahead and put him out. You know what I'm saying? Let Satan deal with him. But what did he say after that? He said, because maybe, possibly, he can get all that stuff out of him and it'll save his soul. Sometimes we don't know the play. We don't see. All we have to do is have the conversation. Let people know where they went wrong. We used to go talk to these pastors. I don't sit in front of a pastor and have an opportunity to talk to him and listen to his sermon and it be wrong. And I just walk out and talk about him like, no, he just be preaching it wrong. No, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go up to him and I'll be like, hey, brother, this is what I heard. I know it ain't my place now. I'm just saying, this is what I heard. This is where I think, you know what I'm saying, the book say. I don't know why you said it this way. Maybe it was something else, but this is what I heard. This is what I would do. Now, I know how they going to take it most of the time. They're going to look at it like, who are you? You know what I'm saying? You 30-year-old boy, you know what I'm saying, coming here talking to me, you know what I'm saying? Boy, I've been doing this for 50 years, and you gonna come talk to me. I've led congregations bigger than your whole family, and you sitting here talking to me about, I understand. It's not my problem to make you change your mind. That's not my goal. We have to do our part. If you trust God, that you want your friend to be saved, or you want this pastor to be turned around, when you trust God, then you do your part, because you have to understand that the Most High God has many pieces on his puzzle that you don't see. You have no awareness to the whole what's it called?
Idea, plan.
Board. There's pieces on the board that you have no insight into. You're just one piece on the board. And so and we have a way, because we only have our perspective, we have a way of making everything about us. But it's not. Nothing is about you. Nothing is about you. All of it is about something else. All of it is bigger than you. You are a small piece. And the more you remind yourself about that, the easier it'll be to get through this wall. You have to be able to tell yourself, this is not about me. So the best case scenario, if I want the right thing to happen, is to do my piece. And if my piece is simply to go up to my brother and be like, no, that was wrong. I know my brother gonna get mad. I know my brother never gonna talk to me again because he hate when I call him out and do this, that, and the other. I know my brother hate when other people is in this business. So when I bring two brothers and be like, yo, this is what happened, and they agree with me, I know my brother is never gonna talk to me again. And I know I'm gonna burn my brother, and I'm never, like, we're gonna not be brothers anymore. I know that already. But guess what the Most High God said do? Go to your brother and rebuke him. That's it. We have to do what the book tells us to do and love each other the way the book tells us. I know people gonna say, look, you picking fights and it's not that big of a deal. And I get it. The conventional wisdom might be against some of this stuff. What I'm telling y'all is, have the confrontation. Not because I think it's a great idea, but because the book says that's the way to love your brother. Let's go back. It's Leviticus chapter 18, Leviticus chapter 19, verse 17.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but
Why
thou
would he
shalt.
say that next? He's telling you what he's saying. He's saying, listen, if you hold that hate in your heart, instead of correcting your brother, you're going to hold a grudge. And that grudge is going to lead to you wanting to avenge yourself against your brother. Watch this. Keep going. Read it again. Verse 18.
Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I
You
am Yahuah.
you shall love the neighbor as this is what Yahuah quoted from. You shall love thy neighbor as yourself. Then he come back and put a stamp on it. I am Yahuah, boy. Wrong with you? Grab Proverbs for it. It's Proverbs chapter 26. It's Proverbs 26, verse 24. We carry this stuff in our heart for years. Anything that we carry in our heart got to be fed. Proverbs 26, verse 24. Anything that we carry in our heart got to be fed. You ever, any of y'all ever seen one of them videos about the parasites? The parasites that live in your body? You know what I'm saying? You watch one of them videos and they got the parasite in their body, and the parasite just grow and get bigger and bigger. And what is it doing the whole time it's in your body? It's moving around, it's eating you. It's eating you. So it's some people that find out that, like, their appetite grows when they got these parasites. They eat more because the parasites is eating whatever they eat, and it's eating them. So they just eating and replacing it. Or like a tick, right? You get a tick on you and it's getting bigger and bigger and it's sucking your blood, right? And that stuff gives you it gives you cravings to do different things. Or like a baby. A baby is a parasite too. All y'all is like little parasites in y'all mama. You sitting there and your mama grow this appetite. Your mama, you get pregnant, boy. Break me down. Let's stop and eat again like we just ate. Right? But that's what happened. Right? That's what happened. You get a parasite and you eat. And so the babies be parasites and they eat and they eat and they eat. And meanwhile, the baby is getting bigger. But you have to feed the baby. You have to feed the baby. If you don't feed the baby, guess what happens? Not the baby, the mama. Yeah. Y'all didn't know that? The baby is going to get every nutrient it needs to. Right? A lot of moms, after they have babies, the moms are unhealthy because they didn't eat nutritiously when they had the baby. So the baby is scraping the calcium off of their darn bone. Then their bones is all brittle after they had a baby because the baby took everything from them. Right? That's what happened. That's why it's a lie. That's why that's why the Most High God tell you got to honor your mother and your father, especially your mama. Because your mama carry you for these months and they're sacrificing stuff out of their baby body because you as a baby, you're a parasite. You're taken from them. And they got to try to replenish it as much as they can. Replenish it and replenish it and replenish it and eat. And they had these cravings like, oh, I want to get this milkshake. And they don't realize that their body is telling the Most High God designed our bodies to tell her, send a signal. You want a milkshake because that milk is going to help with the calcium. And your baby is taking your calcium right now. It's taking the calcium from your bone so that it can develop its bone. Right? So anything that we hold inside of us, anything that exists and lives inside of us has to be fed. And if you hide hate in your heart that just come from a disagreement, your brother offended you. He said something to you that hurt your feelings. You said did something to you that you thought was wrong. And you hide it in your heart and tuck it. But it's there and it exists. You didn't get rid of it. You didn't forgive them. It's there. And you never address it with your brother. That has to be fed. And you don't even know that you're feeding it. You find yourself in bad moods around your brother. You don't even notice this is where it's coming from. And it's all because it's being fed by negativity in your life until it gets too big. And then guess what you're going to want to do? Avenge it against your brother. And it's going to be your sin at that point. It's something that your brother did to you, and it's going to end up being you wrong in the end of it. You going to end up going to jail. You going to end up getting a ticket. You going to end up being in a bad position. You going to end up losing all your friend group over something that he did to you that you failed to call out because you didn't want no confrontation. We got to be men, right? It's very uncomfortable. I'm talking specifically about man-to-man conversations. It is very uncomfortable having a man-to-man conversation with another man because sometimes it feels like it could go a different way. And you love your man. But it has to happen. It's necessary. This is Proverbs chapter 26, verse 24.
He that hateth dissembleth with his lips. Dissembleth with his lips.
In other words, what dissembleth? I think that's lying, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So in other words, you carry hate in your heart, but with your lips, you lying like, oh no, it's cool. No, I ain't even tripping, bro. No, I ain't even tripping, man. No, you good. Guys do this all the time. You know what I'm saying? Nah, man, I ain't tripping on because we be having too much pride to say, you know what I'm saying? Nah, bro, you hurt my feelings when you said that. So we'll hold on to this stuff for so long, right? Instead of just being like, nah, man, look, when you said that, that was wrong. And maybe it wasn't wrong, but give your brother a chance to explain it, to talk through it. Y'all cut it out. Y'all sit down and just pay attention. That's all you got to do. Put that down. Put it down. Keep going. Watch this. He said, you dissemble it with your mouth, but in your heart, you got hate.
And layeth up deceit within him.
Right? And then you lay up deceit. In other words, you lying to yourself. Keep going.
When he speaketh fair, Believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart, whose hatred is covered by deceit. His wickedness shall be showed before the whole congregation. Whosoever digs a pit shall fall therein, and he that rolls a stone, it will return upon him.
Right? You think you setting up a trap for your brother, and it's going to fall back and turn against you. That's what that law is telling you. He's telling you, if you have hate in your heart, you go rebuke and correct your brother. Do not let sin be suffered upon you because of him. Do not hold a grudge against your brother and go and try to avenge it for yourself. Instead, love your neighbor as yourself. This is the only way to be a disciple. The rest of this stuff, man, you can do anything you want and be a Muslim. You can do anything you want and be a Christian. A Hebrew Israelite don't have no standard. To be a disciple of the Most High God, grab this is Isaiah chapter, what is it? This is Isaiah chapter 8 verse 16. Real quick, it's Isaiah chapter 8 verse 16. Then after that, we coming right back to Proverbs. That's Proverbs. We're going to go to the next chapter, so keep your finger there. It's Proverbs chapter 27, verse 5. You know what I'm saying? We're going to Isaiah chapter 8, verse 16. Because as I was saying that, you know what I'm saying, I was about to tell you, you know what I'm saying, you gotta be a disciple. But then I heard one of the Hebrew Israelites speak through the camera. You know what I'm saying? I heard him. He said it. He was like, what? The law don't say nothing about no disciple. I know what he said. I heard him say it. I heard you say it. You know what I'm saying? That way I gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta teach these boys something. It's it's Isaiah chapter 8, verse 16. Watch what the book say.
Bind up the testimony.
He said, bind up the testimony. Close it up.
Seal the law among my disciples.
Seal the what?
Seal the law among my disciples.
You better understand who got access to the law. Only the disciples got the sealed law. It's sealed to the rest of y'all. How you gonna know the law? You not a disciple. You walk around, you a Hebrew Israelite. I know the law. Like you's a liar. The book said you got to be a disciple to know the law. Sealed. Read it again.
Bind up the testimony.
Mm-hmm.
Seal the law among my disciples.
Not among my Christians, not among my Muslims, not among my Hebrew Israelites, my Seventh-day Adventists, my Mormons, my what's the other ones? The Kingdom Hall ones? My Jehovah's Witnesses. No, he said not among my Sister Pam was talking about the Amish earlier. We'll buy your fruit now. Sister Pam said the Amish got good fruit. Good healthy fruit. She said they don't put none of that stuff. Sister Pam was telling us, she was teaching us about about all the different plants and how like wherever we go, they like, you know what I'm saying, they got seeds that's defiled because they put these defiled in the physical sense because they put these pesticides on it to try to keep the bugs away from it. Because you got to increase. She is telling us about a tomato growing in a matter of days. Right? Because they've done so much to it, they make it grow rapidly to support the population growth. Right? So you look at it and you see these people will meddle and do everything. So she is telling us, if you want the good fruit in Kentucky, where she from, you got to go to the Amish. You get to the Amish, you tell the Amish, you know what I'm saying? She said that they be growing stuff and it's too much. And they be like, all right, well, you know what I'm saying? I done fed my family, fed your family, fed all our family good. All right, let's go out there and sell it to the random people. They set up shop. Kind of, I imagine they set up shop like the Mexicans be setting up shop here. You know what I'm saying? Right up on the corner. And they pull it out, you get it. She said she walk right over there. She paying for the stuff. She said they got good fruit because it's legit. You know what I'm saying? So we'll buy their fruit, the Amish. But the law ain't sealed up in the Amish either. You know what I'm saying? The law ain't sealed up in the Amish. It's not sealed up in the Calvinists, in the Pentecostal, in the what other religions we got out there?
Million.
Huh?
Million.
The Episcopal, what? All those. The Palestinians. You know what I'm saying? We going too far now. Come on now. It's just a people. Right? The law is sealed up according to the book amongst the disciples. Why would I call myself anything else? The man is telling you, he giving you Why would I consider myself anything else other than what the man told me to say? Grab Proverbs chapter 27. It's Proverbs chapter 27. Give me verse 4. I probably won't verse 5. Give me Proverbs chapter 27, verse 5.
27 verse 5.
Yeah, 27.
Open rebuke is better than secret love.
Listen, it is better to openly correct if you had a choice. I'm not saying this because I'm saying it. I'm saying it because the book said, look, if there's only two options in front of you, it's like, okay, I can rebuke my brother, but I have to do it now. It would be publicly. Everybody would see me do it. Right? Or I can just, you know what? Not say nothing and love him privately. Right? If those are your only two options, the book is saying you might as well just openly rebuke him. But what if he think I hate him? What if he think I want to fight him? What if he think I'm trying to embarrass him? What if he think I'm trying to put him down? What if he think, what if? That's the type of stuff that'll back us off of keeping the law. Open rebuke, read it again.
Open rebuke is better than secret love. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful.
We do not know who our friends are. We've been taught to push people away that tell us to do the right thing, that tell us that we wrong, that hold us accountable. We've been taught to get those people around, get that negativity. You always being negative. You always focusing on the bad. We've been conditioned to get that away from us. And guess who we love? The people that, oh girl, I love your hair. Read it one more time. Verse 6.
Faithful are the wounds of a friend.
He said, faithful are the wounds of a friend. In other words, a friend that hurts your feelings is faithful. Now, that's not saying that, somebody trying to hurt you all the time and all that. But what the expectation that is showing you is sometimes your friend might tell you things that you don't like. And then what's the next piece?
But the kisses of an enemy are deceitful.
And a lot of times, your enemy will manipulate you. They will make you feel good. They will make you feel like they on the side. And when I say enemy, I am not talking about physical individuals. Because there's people that will be your enemy and they think they're your friend. And you think they're your friend. Y'all in agreement that we are friends. And you'll learn that that person was bad for you. Because our war, we don't have to get it, but our war is not with flesh and blood. Like the stuff that we going through, it's not with human being to human being. There are spirits. There are spirits flowing around here right now that we do not see. And those spirits will lead us to make decisions that will hurt each other, that will trap each other. And we have to resist those spirits, not because for our own sake only, but for everyone's sake. Let's go back. This is Leviticus 19. Actually, give me Galatians. No. Leviticus 19. It's good. We don't have to get a Galatians. This is Leviticus chapter 19. It's Leviticus chapter 19. What verse we leave off?
18.
It's Leviticus chapter 19, verse 18.
Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am Yahuah. You shall keep my statutes. You shall not let thy cattle ginger with a diverse kind. Thou shalt not sow thy field with mingled seed, neither shall a garment mingled of linen and woolen come upon thee.
All right, so we got a little bit here, right? So first of all, let's acknowledge the Most High God just got to talking to you about how you should deal with your neighbor, deal with your brother. Then he got right into, okay, this is how I want you to keep your animals. I don't want you to let one animal mate with a different kind of animal. Right? Don't get to getting two different. I don't want you to have a darn horse and then let it mate with a camel so that you can make a camorse.
A horsemal.
A horsemal. Right? Right? He said, I don't really want that. They say a mule, don't they say a mule is a horse and a donkey?
I think they do say that.
Yeah, I think they say a mule is a horse and a donkey. Right? Where they mixed it. And they say, if I remember correctly in school, they say the mules, it's hard for the mules to have babies because they like genetically whatever. You know what I'm saying? They messed up. Right? The Most High God say don't do that. Right? We're not supposed to participate in making no animal like that. Huh? He said everything is made after our kind. Genesis told that everything is made after its own kind. And it's going to reproduce after its own kind. And that's the order that the Most High God set up. So I want us to acknowledge that. Some things we might look at as what's the big deal. But again, we are just pieces on the board. So we don't know the whole plan. We don't know the big picture. We don't know nothing. All we have to do is do our part. And I'm telling you, it's easy to just do your part when you trust God. When you start to feeling like, man, I got to do more, I got to do different, it's because you're still acknowledge that you're still learning to trust God. It's okay. It's part of the process, right? I'm telling let me give y'all some examples. When we were in Egypt, right? Moses came and Moses was like, you want me to go talk to the Pharaoh? Why you can't have somebody else do it? I don't even speak that good, right? So then he sent Aaron with him, and Aaron and Moses speak to Pharaoh. Several plagues happen, 10 to be exact. At some point, they leave. Children of Israel leave Egypt. When they leave, the Most High God has painted this entire beautiful picture of land filled with milk and honey, is what he told them, right? So they leave. As they leave, the Egyptians gave them everything, just like whatever you want, take it and get out of here. So we leave hat in hand and we walking and we think everything is good. But guess what happened? We look back and you see a bunch of Egyptians. But they're not just Egyptians on foot. They're Egyptians on chariots with weapons. And they're ready to fight us. We weren't prepared for that. That's not a part of the deal. This is not what we signed up for. This is not what you told us was going to happen. But that's not all. Not only are we on foot and they on chariots, and not only are they catching up to us, but as we walk down the path that you told us to go, Moses, there's a big sea in front of us. And there's nowhere for us to go because there's a sea in front of us and there are chariots full of angry Egyptians after all their firstborn babies have died. And they want blood right now. So now what you have to ask yourself is, why did God lead us here? And as soon as you ask yourself that, in wisdom, you have to say, I'm still learning to trust him. You can pretend like you trust God all you want. You can say, you know what? I trust God. Everything cool. You know what I'm saying? Everything cool. I know he's going to take care of it. But he's going to test that in you. Because sometimes I don't think he believes that you as cool as you think you is. And when that happens, you're going to freak out just like we did when we saw that sea and we saw the chariot. And be like, Moses, why did you bring us here? Look, before that happened, we was all cool. Like, man, promised land. Man, I told you we could do it. Didn't I tell you that? I told you the Egyptians were going to let us go. Did they? That's what I'm saying. Let's go. We all happy. We confident. We look back. We look forward. Moses, why did you bring us this way just to die? We could have stayed in Egypt for this. Now they got Moses. I mean, Moses saw the plan. Moses was behind all these things. Moses saw some crazy stuff that he never would have believed. You know how confident Moses is in God at this point? I just took a staff. It turned into a snake. I touch water, it turned into blood. Flies start coming out of the place. Locusts, fire start coming out of the ground. Everything that I say with Moses, me as a man, if I said it, it happened just as I said it. I've never seen nothing like this in my life. My God is the most powerful God ever. I thought the Egyptian gods was powerful. He just put judgments on every one of them one by one. There's nobody messing with my God. You don't think Moses is confident at this point? Guess what? When the people freaked out, guess what Moses did? No, for that. God, why did you bring me out to lead these people to death? What am I supposed to? He freaked out too. Then the Most High God said, man, what's wrong, man? Man, just put your staff out to the Most High God at any point. He been talking to Moses the whole time. At any point, he could have said, look, I'm going to lead you this way. You're going to hit the sea. And then I'm going to have you put the staff out there. He gave him the whole play of everything else, didn't he? Everything else, he told him, look, you're going to go down, you're going to talk to Pharaoh, right? When you talk to Pharaoh, he's not going to, we can read it right now. He told him, Pharaoh is not going to listen to you. I'm going to have to give you some play. Look, you're going to put the play. Don't worry about it. Just think you good. You're going to put the plagues on him. But I assure you, the man is going to let you go. It's going to happen. He gave Moses the whole play up to that point. Moses got to be confident, uber confident. Then all of a sudden, it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. We stuck, y'all. What we supposed to do? So Moses freaked out. Why? Because I need to. Are you really confident? Like, how confident is you for real? You really know what I can do? So you have to understand the Most High God is going to make you break down. It's going to happen. He's going to break you down. He's going to make you break down. He did it to Job. There was no reason for Job not to be confident. So guess what he did? He spent the next 40 chapters breaking his butt down. It took him, he had his babies, who he sat and privately prayed over. His babies had to die. He lost all of his wealth. I don't think he complained one time about the wealth. He definitely cried over them babies. Job. Right? That's part of the process. Is the Most High God is going to break you down because he has to see, do you really believe me? Like, do you really trust me? And then he did it to us for the next 40 years in the wilderness. Right? This is what we have to set ourselves up to expect. This is what's in front of us in this walk. If we do our little part, as little as it may seem, and as mundane as it may seem, and as unimportant as it may seem, it's not about what we're doing, more so that we're just obeying what Yah says. If we do what the man says, it will work out. And you have to believe that. And when you do believe that, then you see value in doing what he says. You can't wait to do what he says. It gives you peace to do what he says, no matter what the circumstances are, no matter what's around you, no matter what army is behind you, and no matter what sea is in front of you, something is going to open up and you know it. This is Leviticus 19 verse 18. Let's read it again about verse 19. This is Leviticus 19 verse 19. Let's read it again about the cattle.
You shall keep my statutes. Thou shalt not let
Hold on, what's a statute?
Barrier, boundary.
A boundary, right? So he's saying you have to keep my boundaries. Don't go outside. Do not color outside of the line. Right? Keep my boundaries. And then he said, what now?
Thou shalt not let thy cattle gender with a diverse kind.
With a diverse what?
Kind.
A different kind. Do not let your animals gender, in other words, mate with a different kind. They can't have babies. A donkey shouldn't be having babies with a darn horse. Keep going.
Thou shalt not sow thy field with mingled seed.
Right? Do not mix the seed. If I got a darn tomato field, well, I'm going to put potatoes in there also. If I got a field of wheat, why am I going to mix it with tare? It's a different type of plant. Right? He's saying don't mix them. Right? Keep going.
Neither shall a garment mingled of linen and woolen come upon thee.
He said, now, if I have a garment mingled with wool, I'm not going to put, what else?
Linen.
Linen in it. Where does linen come from?
It come from the ground, don't it?
The fabric linen come from the ground. It comes from flax, right? But where does wool come from?
Sheep.
That comes from an animal. So he's telling you, do not mix linen, which comes from flax, right? Comes from the ground, grows from the ground, with wool, which comes from an animal. He's telling you to keep things separated, keep things according to its own kind. So all of this that we talk about, we've been talking about how do we make the wisdom and the principles of the Most High's law practical in our life in 2025, about to be 2026, y'all willing. How do we make this practical? What is this telling us? It goes back to where we started, didn't it? We started off with, he said, be holy, didn't he? We have to keep things separated. A lot of times we see division as wrong and as uncomfortable. But that's not the case. Division is a part of life. You cannot be for God without division, right? You have to have factions. You have to have divisions because divisions will approve who's right and who's wrong, what's good and what's bad. That's everything that we do has to be about division, not division amongst God, but division for anything that's not among God. This is 1 Corinthians. Let me 2 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 14.
2 Corinthians what?
What's up? 2 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 4. Not verse 4. 14. Second
Be
Corinthians chapter 6 verse 14. Watch what the book say.
be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship has righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion has light with darkness? And what concord has the Messiah with Belial? Or what part hath he that believeth with an infidel?
Or what?
And what agreement hath the temple of God with idols? For ye are the temple of the living God, as God has said, I will dwell in them and walk in them, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people.
Right? So he's telling us you cannot be equally yoked with people that are not of your kind. And when he's saying kind, he's not talking about, oh no, don't be equally yoked with a white person if you black. No, Dodo. White and a black person is of the same darn kind. You know what I mean? Look, that made my house uncomfortable now.
A human being
You know what I'm saying?
is what he's trying to say.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We all come from Adam,
A human being.
right? We all come from Noah. We are the same. We are of the same kind. You got a white girl? Oh, I was about to say. I thought you. I was about to say. Cut the cameras off. Let's talk. Okay. Woo. Anyway, but we are all of the same kind. That's not what he's talking about. He's talking about unrighteousness and righteousness. He's talking about holiness, right? We have to separate ourselves and draw a difference, right? People will be confused because everyone is looking for the truth. Everyone is looking for what way to go. We are all sheep looking for something to follow, right? So when we start to follow the Most High, we cannot mix ourselves in with people who are following something else because it gets confusing for the other sheep that's looking for the right way to go. So we have to make a difference. That doesn't mean, and we read this before, we don't have to get it now, but that doesn't mean that we can't interact with people of the world, because Paul tells us if we try to judge everybody in the world, we'd have to take ourselves out of the world. But it does mean that we have to make a difference. We have to call ourselves disciples and not Christians. We have to behave this way and not that way, right? it's important to make sure that we call out and make a difference, and that difference is clear, so that people don't confuse us with them. And people gonna tell you, "Oh, you judgmental, and you look down on people, and you think you better." And just listen, whatever they say, we got one part. That's the only thing we've inherited. We've inherited one part, and that's doing what the Most High God say. People like expect it. People are going to say things. People are going to try to throw you off. That's the game. That's what happens. But you can't respond or react to the things that are said to you. Grab Matthew chapter 5 for me. Then after we get Matthew chapter 5, we still got to come back to 2 Corinthians chapter 6. So let's hold there. It's Matthew chapter 5. Guess we can start at verse 1. I don't know. Maybe where would it be? Matthew chapter 5, maybe verse 6.
Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be filled.
Mm-hmm.
Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy.
Mm-hmm.
Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God.
Mm-hmm.
Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God.
Mm-hmm.
Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake.
Blessed are they which are what?
Persecuted for righteousness' sake.
Listen, when you know that you're doing the right thing, and people are looking at you and try to make you out to be the bad guy, they're trying to make you out to be the one that's evil. When you trust God, right? Just know when you trust God, you're going to look at that and say, man, I'm blessed. And when that ain't your reaction, when your reaction is, well, this is unfair. Why is this happening to me? This, that, and other. Just know, don't be down. Don't be hard on yourself. Just know, okay, I'm still learning to trust God. It's for this very purpose. Before this happened, man, I thought I trusted God. When this happened, praise God. He's let me know I don't trust him as much as I thought I did. And accept the lesson. I'm learning to trust God through this. He put me through a difficult situation. I've been made to be the evil person, but all I've done is sacrifice. All I've done is try to do the right thing. Maybe I messed up. Maybe I did this, but I'm really trying to think and I really don't see it. It's a lesson in trusting God at that point. Because Yahuah told us, read it again.
Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
Keep going.
Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake.
Yeah, notice, you know what I'm saying? Yahuah ain't crazy. You see what he slipped in there. He said, all what? All manner of what?
All manner of evil against you falsely for my sake.
And he said, falsely though. You know what I'm saying? Now they gotta be lying. Now listen, if somebody say, you wretched dog, cheater, liar, and they tell them the truth, you know what I'm saying? This don't apply to you. You know what I'm saying? Now when they get to saying that and they saying it falsely, the man is saying, you should be saying I'm blessed. And it's counterintuitive. There's no wisdom of the world that's gonna tell you that. The wisdom of the world is not gonna look at that and be like, oh, you're in such a good position, brother. Nobody's gonna look at you and see a whole bunch of people calling you a liar and a cheater and you're damned to hell and the whole world is pointing at you and they hate you. None of them is gonna come up and be like, you made out pretty good. That's not conventional wisdom. But the spirit of the Most High God doesn't give conventional wisdom. It gives you something different. You have to look crazy to people. And it's only after that they're going to be like, surely that was the Son of God. Surely that was the woman of God. Keep going.
Rejoice and be exceedingly glad. For
he said, do what now?
Rejoice and be exceedingly glad.
So when you're going through it and you feel like I'm sad or I'm mad or I'm angry, then guess what? Don't be too hard on yourself. But just remind yourself, I'm still learning to trust God. This is the lesson. I'm learning to trust him. I'm learning to build my trust in him. Because if I trusted him all the way, if I trust him as much as I thought I did, then guess what? I'd be rejoicing. I'd be, after all these people that said all this stuff about me, I'll close my door in my house and be like, oh, praise you, Lord. Because I fit in your book. I can see myself in it. You think everybody gets to see themselves in the book? The average people can't see themselves in this darn book. They struggle and fight against it. They don't see themselves. They have changed the way the book looked to make it fit their life. They have changed their whole darn religion to make it fit their life. They had call it something different to make it fit their life. Because the way it's written don't mess with them. We got lessons that we got to go through. We got a wilderness that we got to go through. We got a sea in front of us and a chariot behind us. And the Most High God is going to let us freak out until he say, oh, you didn't trust me. He's an austere man. I mean, he a hard man. He put us through these things and he know what the outcome. Why he didn't tell Moses that was going to happen? He could have told Moses. Moses was his man. No, he didn't want to tell Moses. What you say, Moses? Moses came up with whatever he can. No, I don't know. Now I don't know if I'm the right one for this now, Lord. He's an austere man, right? You have to know that about your God. You have to know it. You have to know him. You have to look at the book and learn what to expect from him. Because he shows it to you, and the Most High God has been consistent through the whole book. So you have to learn what to expect. How is this going to play out? I always try to pay attention now when I read the book to the time frame. Just how long was David wrestling with Saul? Because it makes the stuff I go through very small sometimes. I'll be dealing with something for a week and just be like, I just don't understand, Lord. The last 2 years, I'm dealing with it for a week. The Most High God, he gave us examples of people dealing with stuff for 14 years. Paul, 7+ years, and David had multiple situations. Goodness gracious. You know what I'm saying? These people are going through stuff for years, constant, and their life is in danger. They got people hunting them down. And that's not to minimize nothing we go through, but what it does do is it puts it in a context for you of, okay, when the Most High God really want to teach us something, I have to tighten up this belt for a couple years. How long was Joseph in prison?
Well, I think it was 6, something like that. 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, it was some years. I can't remember. I'm trying to think of where it
It
would
might have
be.
been 3.5.
It might. It was. I know it was some years. Can you imagine that? You serve the Most High God, been doing the right thing the whole time. You go to prison for something you didn't do, and you sit down for years.
Why Joseph go to jail, Eli? You don't forgot.
Yeah, I wish you know what I'm saying. If you can find it real quick, because I want to know. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember. Where would that be? That would be what, 30,
What
38?
happened to Joseph, Eli?
No, it's not 38.
He did. He did.
But the point is, we got lessons that we have to learn, and we need to recognize, one, that it's a lesson, and two, I haven't learned it yet. And after that, put your head down and you wait for how whatever solution he gonna open up. But all you have to do is focus on your little part. It's a tiny part. It feels like the world, feels like everything. It's a tiny part. Focus on it and do your part. This is the first 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse what, 15?
We read that already.
We were at 15, 16 then?
We went 14 through 17.
Oh, okay. We'll pick it up where we left off, 17. Right? It's important that we understand we cannot be equally yoked. If we are equally yoked with unrighteousness, now it muddies the water. Right? It muddies the water. We need to lead unrighteousness to righteousness, and we can't do that while we're tied to unrighteousness. We don't see the plan all the time, but the Most High God, I assure you, has a plan. All we got to do is do our part. This is verse 18 or 17.
Wherefore come out from among them and be ye separate,
He
says
said, come
Yahuah.
out from among them and be what?
Separate, says Yahuah. And touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you, and will be a father unto you, and you shall be my sons and daughters, says Yahuah Almighty.
This is 1 John. This is 1 John chapter 6. I mean 1 John chapter 3, verse 6. This 1 John chapter 3, verse 6. You sick, boy? Who told you to get sick? You remember back in the day, right, baby? I be telling you all the time. Who knew that? Who said that? How you know? I be saying that all the time. Mm-hmm. So I live that your life. Are you? I'll kick him out right now. This is where we at?
1 John chapter 3.
It's 1 John chapter 3, verse 6. Watch what the book say.
Whosoever abideth in him sinneth not.
Mm-hmm.
Whosoever sinneth has not seen him, neither known him.
Watch this.
Little children, let no man deceive you. He that does righteousness is righteous, even as he is righteous.
Right? He told us don't be unequally yoked with unrighteousness, right? He said he who does righteous are well, first of all, let's talk about unequally yoked. What does that mean? And sometimes we gloss over some of this stuff, and you know what I'm saying? Like we should be very clear about what that means. What does it mean to be yoked?
Tied to someone.
That's tied to it, right? They got these things that they call yoke that they will put on, like, let's imagine as a cow, right? You'll take a cow or a bull, and you put this device over their neck. Is, you know what I'm saying, like a wooden or a metal device, right? And this device, you ever seen like a stagecoach? You ever seen like horses that's pulling this wooden thing that has wheels, right? And so, you know what I'm saying? And then you smack the horses on their back, and it's like 3 horses or 4 horses or whatever, and they pull it. So that's kind of like a yoke. Those horses have something over their shoulders and over their necks that ties them to the stagecoach. And so they can smack all the horses on the back, and all the horses together will pull it, and they all working together to do that. So when you do that, you got to have horses of an equal size. I can't have a big old stallion and then a little pony, because then I'm unequally yoked. Super tall. Yeah. So his body was unequally yoked. That's a bad deal. That's a bad deal. Got to do it because it's not balanced, right? So you look at it, and if I got a little tiny pony, little baby pony, and I got this big old stallion, and I'm trying to pull this carriage, now the carriage is gonna pull to one side. One horse is not gonna be able to keep up with the other. So now we you know what I'm saying? We all over the place. The book is saying don't be unequally yoked, right? You can't be, because in the book tells us this in Amos, right? How can 2 walk together unless they agree? So when a person is headed towards righteousness, that's a different path than a person headed towards unrighteousness. And if you're yoked together, the yoke is going to be unequal. It's going to be unbalanced. And he's telling us don't do it. We think we got a plan sometimes. We think we can figure it out. We think we can make up the difference. What he's telling us is your part is to stay away from it. Right? Tie yourself to righteousness. And if it's unrighteousness, don't mean that you can't organize. We work, all of us got jobs with a bunch of unrighteous people. Right? But we're not tied to these people. Right? We're working a job in an organization. This is not to say that you can't deal or interact or exchange or even have good times with people who are unrighteous. It just means that you can't tie yourself in a way to where the unrighteous and you look exactly the same. Now it gets confusing. You have to always make a difference. So now we go back to First John chapter 3, verse 6, and it's telling us if you sin, it's because there's not righteousness. The seed of God is not in you. The one that's righteous is righteous. He's of one kind. Right? Watch this. Keep going.
Whosoever abides in him sinneth not. Whosoever sinneth has not seen him, neither known him. Little children, let no man deceive you. He that doeth righteousness is righteous, even as he is righteous. He that
Put it
commits
down.
sin is of the devil, for the devil sins from the beginning. For this purpose the Son of God was manifested, that he might destroy the works of the devil. Whosoever is born of God does not commit sin, for his seed remains in him.
Because his what?
For his seed remains in him.
That makes him a kind. Oh, we got grab Genesis. This is Genesis chapter 1. Give me verse 9. He said his seed remains in him. This is Genesis chapter 1, verse 9. Yeah, chapter 1, sorry. Genesis chapter 1, verse 9.
And God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear, and it was so.
Look, the Most High God took, it was nothing, it was like there was no form on earth. The land was underneath water. It was just all water. You couldn't see nothing. If you could just imagine yourself riding on top of a little helicopter drone, right? And just hovering above the water, you would see nothing but water in every direction, right? It just looked like, goodness gracious, it's like water just go out to the horizon. So at some point, the Most High God first, he took that water and took some of it, and then he put it in the air and separated it. Then after that, the sky kind of turned blue. That's how I imagine it. I imagine the sky kind of turned blue, because at that point he said, I separated the waters from the waters, and the space in the middle, I called it the firmament. Right? And then the firmament, guess what he named it? Heaven, which we would call it sky. Right? So he named it heaven. And then after that, he took the waters, those same waters, stop boy. He took the waters, those same waters, and then you know what he did? He said, I'm going to separate the land from the waters now, because the land would have been underneath. So read that part again, verse 9.
And God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear, and it was so.
Right? So then once the water got gathered into one place, now the land appeared, because it stopped covering it. So then he said, okay, now we got dry land and we have water. Watch what happened now.
And God called the dry land earth.
So before the water peeled back over the land, where was the water? It was where? It was over. That means the whole world was what? So when he flooded it, that was easy. I just put it back on it, and guess what I did? When he receded the flood, guess what he did? He had to move the land. Right? Because he had to move the land so that the water can go back into the ground. That's in Genesis. That's in Psalms too. He had to reorchestrate. He had to lift the mountains higher to create valleys for the water to flow into them. That's why we have a constant flow of water that comes from the top of these mountains and from the geysers and the rain, because the Most High God had this whole thing set up. Keep going. Watch this.
And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. And God saw that it was good.
Watch this.
And God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. And it was so.
So then after there is earth, then he says, bring forth grass. And he said, whose seed is in itself. After what?
After his kind.
Then watch what happens next.
And the earth brought forth grass, and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit whose seed was in itself after his kind. And God saw that it was good.
So now it makes you a kind when you have a seed within yourself. You're a type of fruit. You're a kind of fruit when you have a seed within itself. And so Yah just told us in the 3rd chapter of 1 John, he told us very clearly that if a person is righteous, it's because they have the seed of the Most High in them, which makes you then a kind. So when we go back to Leviticus chapter 19, verse 18, verse 19,
Verse 19.
when we go back to Leviticus chapter 19, verse 19, he's telling you, do not mix different kinds, whether it's a different kind of animal, whether it's a different kind of plant, or whether it's a different kind of fabric, meaning a wool that comes from an animal and a linen that comes from a plant. He said, do not mix those together in your garment. Right? This is an instruction about holiness, about making yourself separate, about making a difference between what's clean and it's unclean, against what's one kind versus another kind, because the Most High God will take care of the other kind. He will take care of our kind too. You just have to make sure that you do your part. It's a small part. Just obey the man. Let's go back. It's Leviticus chapter 19. Even Yahuah, when Yahuah he woke up out of the tomb. Remember the angels was telling Mary, like, yeah, man, he was here, this, that, and other. And then all of a sudden she saw him and she ran over to him. And what happened? What did he say to her?
Don't touch me yet.
He said, do not touch me. Why? I'm a different kind now. After this resurrection, I am a different kind. I have not been to the Father yet. You cannot touch me. A different kind. What you got? You're different. Yeah, you're different. Your body is different. I imagine we're gonna have a similar mind, right? Maybe memories and things like that. But even our mind, though, will be different. The Most High God said He'll put the law in our hearts. When the book talk about the heart, it's talking about your mind. It's talking about your thoughts, right? So He's saying that it's gonna make it second nature in our thoughts, or first nature, right? Rather, gonna make it first nature in our thoughts to obey the law of the Most High God. So now, as we struggle and we have to be taught the law, as we have to go over it and remember it and think of it, it'll be natural for us. This is natural. When was the last time you thought about making your heart beat? What? What's wrong with them? Who can make their heart beat slower right now? Oh, y'all some ninja. You know what I'm saying? Y'all some ninja. I ain't never met nobody like y'all, right? But it's things like that, even breathing. When was the last time you thought about breathing? You think about breathing all the time. That's just because you a little artistic. That's all. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with it. A little artistic. You know what I'm saying? You can draw pictures. That's all. That's all that means. You know what I'm saying? It's good. All right. Any questions? No. What question you got? I'm listening. I'll say something silly. I'm just waiting for him. That pop some Benadryl, slow everything down. Yeah. All right. Let's let. Oh, what you got? I ain't wasting my time. Oh yeah, we'll see the world. We'll definitely see the world. Now it might look a little different, but we'll definitely see the world. What you got? Hey, listen, I like the resurrection questions. These are some good questions. I like when y'all get to ask about resurrection, right? You said now when you get to the resurrection, what happened now? You have a new body. Book, you know what I'm saying? Book say we won't know what it'll be, but we know when we see Yahuah, we will be like him. So we don't know exactly what that new body gonna look like. I like to imagine it'd be like better than Thor. Nah, probably not. He said, will you still feel the same? I said, probably not. What you got? I think probably all the memories will still be there. Probably. But I don't know for sure. All right, let's pray out. Go ahead and click on the